Okay, welcome back to the Stoke View, and be careful what you wish for. Liam, 2 weeks ago on this channel, you said it'd be nice if Stoke had a derby to play now and again. Well, if we're not careful, it might have a couple with Vale and Crew in League One. We are going to talk about all things that have gone on in Stoke City. If we can explain what's going on, of course, we would love you to. But first of all, let's check on your well-being. I daren't ask you this, but how are you?
I'm all right.
Are you sure?
I've been beaten down enough over the past 7 or 8 years that wore off a duck's back now. Oh,
All right, let's chat about the Blackburn game, shall we? Let's talk about the Walter Berger incident with the fans at the end of the game as well, and whether fans are right to kind of shout in his direction, given that as far as you're concerned, over the last 2 weeks he's been the only player fit to wear a shirt. Um, we're also going to talk then, obviously, about the games coming up this weekend, which are massive. I'll start with Blackburn then. Missed penalty aside, um, was that a fair result? 3-1.
yeah, I think so. Just so bad, so bad. I mean, I've talked before about Charity FC, and it's an ongoing joke with Stoke. We knew as soon as the Eustace was named that it's just sod's law. It always happens, it seems. But I imagine most teams say that. It's just Schumacher said, after the game, I told them before they come out, keep it tight 15 minutes, settle the crowd down. And it just 5 minutes in, there's a goal, nothing goal. Uh, the centre backs are atrocious at best at the minute. Whichever setup you put in of them, the fullbacks don't know what they're doing. It's an absolute shambles, and it's a mixture of the players not doing the job and Schumacher has lost the plot a bit, in my opinion. It's all looking a bit Nathan Jones at the minute.
Yeah. Um, I heard some comments and I read on Twitter, not sure that he actually, previous to this game, the last one had called out some players and was saying, that they're not working hard enough and actually named them. And I always think when you do that, you do run a risk of the players that obviously get on well with that player, then also going, who's this guy who's been here for 5 minutes? I can't believe I'm asking this already, but oh, has he lost the dressing room already?
I don't know. I don't know if he's lost it. It's not. It doesn't look good. I mean, it seems like since the day before transfer deadline day, it's like someone's just pulled a pin out of a grenade. Everything was, it was fine. We went unbeaten in eight. We went Sunderland away and lost 3-1. But we created chances. We were just sloppy at the back. Then we lost to Birmingham at home, and we were really good. I said to you, I was more frustrated about that result because we played really well.
Yeah.
And then just before transfer deadline day, we hear rumours that Ryan Myers going to be sold, and things like this, and then he's being disciplined all of a sudden because he's been dropped now. Ryan Myers, he's with the under 21s, and there's just a lot of weird stuff going on. And when he made his final sub against Blackburn, Tyrese Campbell and Ben Pearson went down the tunnel. I don't know if they came back out. It's just something seems off. I don't want to speculate, but just something doesn't seem right at the minute. The players don't seem to be putting it in. His tactics. When we said I wanted an experienced manager, and when we were talking about Mowbray and stuff like that, when we had no manager, I think this is the reason because an experienced manager would stick to his principles now.
Yeah.
He would say, I know what I want. I know what I want to do. This is it. But now, very much similar to Nathan Jones as a young manager coming in, dealing with these players. I know we lost 5-0 at home against Leicester. We were really bad. Half of that is the players, half of it is on Schumacher. We had Gooch as a winger. We had Nathan Lowe's 6'3" on the other wing. Doesn't make any sense. Then to change it for 8 players and Daniel Johnson coming back in, who's just not good enough. When we beat Rotherham 1-0, Baker, Berger, and Kundal were the midfield. Baker scored that worldie of a free kick.
Yeah.
Not seen him since. Nobody knows why. There's something amiss. I can't quite put my finger on what it is. I don't know.
Um, it's QPR this week, and we won't we won't know the scoreline of this because we're recording this video before that game, and obviously previewing the game this weekend against Coventry. But if he loses against QPR heavily, let's say 2 or 3-0, is there a chance that the Coates family are going to say enough is enough?
Not the Coates family. No, they are overly loyal. They will stick to the guns, I would imagine. It's strange now because Schumacher and probably half of these players aren't going to warrant the amount of stick they're getting. It's a culmination of the 7 years, but they're kind of victims of circumstance now. Fans have had enough. And it's got to be, they're not going to start singing about Gary Rowett and Nathan Jones and Alex Neil. And it's not going to happen. It's going to be directed at who's it at.
Yeah.
It's just a lot of anger coming now where it's been apathy previously. And Schumacher will get it in the neck if, it's just a natural event that will happen. On the Wouterberger situation, I believe he come over, which as a 22-year-old lad who's just come in the country to come over to the fans, I've got massive respect for him. And from what I've been told by fans who are up close to him, he was kind of saying, stick with us. And the fans were saying, it's not you, it's the lads behind you, which is what I can imagine being said. And then not a single player, not any experienced players coming up with him and backing him up.
Yeah.
It just shows where they are as a team, really, at the minute.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, the video that was on social media showed just the fans obviously looking like having an argument with your best player, and then singing "You're not fit to wear the shirt" to as he walked back to the squad, and you do just think how much, as you say, he's young. How much is that going to stick in his mind? I don't understand it as a neutral. Why you would do that to your best fan. Obviously, clearly the only player at the moment which is fit to wear a shirt, from what I can see.
Yeah. I think there's just a lot of pent up, because I mean, there's a big talking point at me between Stoke fans of are we overly toxic? If there's a misplaced pass at home, there'll be grumbles and boos. I look at it as they're still getting 20,000 a week at home. They took 3,200 fans away at Blackburn. Now, I know they were singling out players and singing, like Daniel Johnson was getting personally sung at for how bad he was, which is not going to help. But I can understand where it's coming from. And like I say, victim of circumstance, Daniel Johnson doesn't warrant the abuse of 7 years worth of failure, but he's there, so he's going to get it. All we can do now as fans is just turn up, and a kind of happy clap in a way, if you will. If you don't like players, if you don't like the manager, if you don't like what's going on, just you've got to stick behind them for these last 15 games or so.
Yeah, and let's look on the flip side. If that penalty goes in, that game's a completely different picture, isn't it? Yeah. And even the Blackburn fans earlier said, look, that penalty goes in, it's game on. And, that could have been 3-3 and possibly even more, because their confidence, was on the floor as well. So, and you scored. Hey, look, we've talked about, you scored a goal.
Fair play to Ennis, to Niall Ennis. It was an half decent finish, and he's done more as a forward than most have.
Yeah.
So fair play to him.
All right. So the big question is this then? So you're on 32 points. You're 3 points above the drop against hovering over the team that you play on Wednesday night with Huddersfield sandwiched between you. Do you fear that not only about your own performances, but do you then watch Huddersfield improve? Obviously, got a new manager still to come. Sheffield Wednesday, are picking up the odd result there. QPR unbeaten in 4. And then, of course, you've got Birmingham and Millwall in the mix as well. So this is going to be two from 6 clubs, isn't it? And at the moment, looking at it, your club is smack bang in the middle of this, probably playing the worst record out of all of them.
Yeah, without a doubt. It's nerve-wracking. As I said a few weeks ago, that I could see us having enough. And like I say, something has changed since that point. I can't put my finger on what it is, but we are so disjointed, and maybe it's an experience of Schumacher, being 2-0 down against Leicester. He made 2 attacking subs, said, you've got to try and attack your way out of it. And then Blackburn, he said after the game, we've got to try and attack a way out of it. Now, I think he's confusing attacking with not defending correctly, because it's not like we are bombarding the other team's goal. We're just chucking a lot of players forward, and when it breaks, they haven't got the drive and the fight to get back. So, yeah, it's going to be a rough ride.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. And I don't know if anyone out there has got this fact, but I'd love to know whether there's ever been a season that Stoke and Vale have both been relegated in the same season. If there has been, please put it as a trivia answer in the comments.
I don't know how to say this, but it would just be so Vale to get relegated the same season that we're about to go in the same league as them. It would. It's typical Vale.
Oh dear. Well, listen, whether you're a Stoke fan, a Vale fan, or any kind of fan of this, look, you've got to admire that Stoke are a huge club. Founder members. No one does. You can't say anyone deserves to be in the league, but it would be a sadder league without Stoke in it. So as a neutral, we're all hoping and fighting with you. And look, I've been to the Bet365 many times, and I know just how loyal and passionate Stoke fans are. They've turned up for, what is it, 8 years now, 9 years you've been out of the Premier League, and you've seen a lot of dross, but you still keep coming every single weekend. You still wear your shirts, buy your programs, sit in that freezing cold stadium of yours and sing your songs. So, you won't see, I don't think, any more loyal or passionate fans there. So we all hope that this does turn around. But I agree with you. When I heard those comments, I can't believe that a new manager's calling out players publicly, because I think that only goes one way. And I suspect that there's some deliberate downing of tools from players there that have seen the ump with this manager. But Liam, we're delighted to have you back. I know you were ill last week, probably through watching too much Stoke City games.
It's just when you've got man flu and you go and sit in a freezing cold stadium, all you want to do is go and get battered 5-0 by Leicester. It's just what topped it off.
All right. Well, good luck against QPR. Good luck against Coventry. Which you've spoken about. A score prediction for Coventry this weekend?
They are good at the minute. Very good. I'm going to go for a loss. I've seen that away end bouncing so many times at the Bet365 the past few years that that's all you see now. I haven't looked to the away end in about 18 months. I just focus on the pitch and nothing else. So, yeah, I'm going to go 2-1 loss against Coventry.
Okay. All right. We'll catch you next week to review it all. All right, mate. Thanks for joining us.
Okay.
Putting a brave face on. We appreciate it.
Yeah. Nice. Cheers.
If you're a Stoke fan, have you yet subscribed? Please do so. Nice one, folks. Cheers.
Cheers.